attention. We're gonna teach you something real special. Real special today. This is two coins. Two coins. Two coins. My boy Wally, then Ronnie, wherever you're at, we're at. Showing two sides of the same coin. Let me know what y'all think. Two coins. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter today.
And welcome back to the Two Coin Podcast. It's your boy Ronnie.
And I'm your brother Wally, the other side of the coin. Today's episode is brought to you by Courage. And with that being said, I just want to give a shout out to the people in Sudan or who are still stuck in Sudan amidst like a crisis and burgeoning civil war going on. So I want to give a shout out to my people for staying resilient and being courageous in the face of danger.
Man, that's crazy. That shit's been going on now for like 3-4 years now too, huh? But that was even pre-pandemic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's recently been happening is, well, pre-pandemic, it was they were trying to get a new government in place after the previous dictatorship, like a new democratic government. But then, like, after the pandemic, and mostly this year, 2023, like, the military has been getting more involved in strong arming, like, the politicians that are trying to bring change. And now it's kind of, like, delved into a whole armed conflict. It hasn't, I mean, it is like a war, but it's, like, the international community isn't really calling it, like, a war yet, because it's just two small factions having little battle territories on different areas, like different neighborhoods, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are on the front line, kind of dodging bullets in the capital city. So, salute to the people of Sudan. Not to dampen the mood before we even start here.
Nah, but that's some real shit though, man.
Yeah, bro.
People, especially a lot of people out here, they don't know about stuff like that. So.
You know. Yeah, so it's just good to make people aware. Awareness is the first step to any type of solution, right? So
I feel that. How's your family doing out there?
Oh, they good. They're all my family that's in the capital city or that was in the capital city either left the country or went to like a different city where the rest of my family is. Okay. So they're all safe.
So most of this is really going on in the capital city.
Yeah, it's mostly going on in the capital city and like the western parts of the country, but I have no family there personally. But you know, prayers and thoughts to everybody out there.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, bro, just to shift gears here and kind of lighten up the mood a little bit. Biggest news here. What's the date today? Wednesday, August 23rd. So, I mean, I just found out yesterday. I don't know if the news came out before that, but Drake is dropping a new album Friday called "For the Dogs" or some shit like that.
For the dogs.
What do you what are your thoughts on the upcoming album? His last couple releases and output, if you've listened to it, and just Drake in general, man. I wanna hear your thoughts on this.
I mean, first off, this is about to come off sounding real haterish, but I ain't gonna lie.
I love it.
I could give a fuck about his project coming out, bro. I'm not like, that's not to say that Drake ain't got talent, because clearly he do. This motherfucker's the number one pop star in the world, and I label him as a pop star more so than a rap star. You know what I mean? Just because and that's not a knock on him. It's his ability to be able to like navigate a bunch of different genres within music, which is dope as fuck. But you know, like, and I'm not gonna lie, like certain Drake songs come on and it's like, yeah, you know, you find yourself just bouncing to it, vibing to it, like, and it's cool. I'm just not sitting here circling the day. Oh shit, Drake dropping. You know what I mean? Like the same way, September 1st, I'm looking forward to that 6 3. Like
exactly.
Like
me personally, bro. I feel you. Like we have like a similar music taste, right? I wouldn't necessarily call myself a Drake hater. Like I like his music, right? But you know, he's been out in the forefront since like we were in high school, like 2010, 2011, 2012. And in those early days, he made more, I would call it like genuine music, introspective type music, not to be all backpack rap fan over here, but like more music that had substance to it, right? And back then it would be easier to like sit there and dissect his albums and go through track by track by track by track, kind of like how we do. Remember when To Pimp a Butterfly came out, Kendrick sat there and listened to the whole shit all the way through. Like I used to do the same shit with J. Cole. I still do the same shit with like J. Cole. I used to do it with Drake, and even just recently like Travis Scott. He doesn't have much substance in his music, but the thing with him is he spends so much time crafting those albums. He takes 3 years between each album. And
one thing I would like, not even cut you off, bro, about Travis Scott is like the way that a lot of artists put their thought into their lyrics. He puts his thought into his production. And
to like making it like a cinematic type of like experience. You know what I mean? So I can excuse him for not really having any lyrical substance, especially if his rapping is not like really trash. Like it's passable to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So And with him, I can tell he's being authentic in his artistry, if that makes sense.
Nah,
So even though he has no substance, I could still sit there and dissect each track by track by track because he's that talented of an artist. Drake is probably one of the most talented artists I've ever heard, but there's just something so phony and disingenuous about that nigga that I just can't get over. And like, I am a huge fan of his music, but him as a person, just like, he just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, there's no other way to put it without sounding like a hater.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. There's no other way to put it without sounding like a hater, but it's just like he just seems like a fraud in every aspect.
I mean, I hear that. I mean,
You
bro,
know what I
like,
mean?
hey, you know what? The other thing about that though is when, like, going back to what you were saying about when we were in high school, like when "Thank Me Later," nothing was the same. I mean, "Nothing Was the Same" came out right after we got out of high school, but even like "Take Care" and all those albums, like the mixtapes that led up to it, it was, you could honestly relate with a lot of what he was talking about. You know what I mean? Like a
Yep.
lot of the shit he talks about now is like, I ain't gonna lie, maybe I'm just too broke, but it's some rich shit that I don't even like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
and
not.
maybe it's just to piggyback off that point. Maybe it's not the fact that he's changed as an artist. Maybe he stayed the same as an artist since we heard him in high school, and he's just talking to the same type of audience, and we just kind of grew up and are kind of like kind of over it. Not I'm not over it because like his last album with 21 Savage, it
Yeah,
came out. I listened to it. I liked it. I wouldn't call it like wonderful music, but it's some good music you can slap in the whip if you're going out here and there. But it doesn't have much replay value. You know what I mean? So maybe it's us, the audience, just kind of shifting priorities versus him as an artist. He knows what works, and it works every fucking time.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I would say like, damn, bro, I'm like looking up like his albums in order, and I would honestly say after that third one, nothing was the same. I kind of just fell off of this shit.
For me, I
But
think like after Views is when I kind of started looking at him sideways.
yeah, the one thing though I will still say is like all his little freestyles that he puts out, like the 5 a.m.s, the 3 a.m.s, like, you know what I mean? When a
Fire,
motherfucker can't sleep, like that shit hard, bro. You know what I mean? I
fire.
fuck with it, but
And that's why I can't fully agree with your point where you labeled him as a pop star, because I feel like with Drake, and the thing that pisses me off the most about him is that he could rap with the best of them. He
yeah,
just a lot of the times chooses not to, and so then niggas put him in a pop star category. Where if he was more authentic and just rapping all the time, then he
yeah.
would be on a lot more people's Mount Rushmore. You know?
I mean, bro, like when you choose to go deeper in one lane, you got to give up access to other lanes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's facts.
him choosing to be a global icon and like just a music star, like you giving up the whole hip hop head scene and being the best rapper scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But with that
So
being said, man, I'm gonna still listen to it. Look at me, I'm hella phony.
hey,
I'm gonna still listen to it, and I don't know. I'm not really expecting much. Is what I guess what I'm trying to say.
should keep your expectations low. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know?
that leads us into kind of like our next topic. Um, I feel like a lot of Drake's success, like aside from his like immense talent, has a lot to do with like his rabid fan base, like propping him up, which is kind
Yeah,
of the same with most artists nowadays. When you see like a group of people who are like, for example, started with kind of like the Beehive, Beyonce's rabid fan base, and then everybody kind of has like a hive.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? And what do you think drives people to go that hard over somebody that doesn't even know they exist?
I think it's the relatability in the music. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of it has to do with like look at somebody like Beyonce. A lot of her fans have been her fans since they were in middle school, elementary school. You know what I mean? Like at least our generation, people been Beyonce fans for fucking decades now. So it's like I think it's like that hint of nostalgia mixed with like I'd say more so with like female artists because I see that with like Taylor Swift too. I see that with like Nicki fans. You know what I mean? Like they start early, they get them hooked early, and then they kind of stay the same to their core audience, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, they
yeah,
evolve as an artist, but you know what I mean? Somebody like Rihanna, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, they're still true to their core audience. Even somebody like a Justin Bieber, bro. Like, yeah, I mean, up until like, you know what I mean? I feel like for dudes it's different because like when you come up as a kid, it's like you get that Disney treatment, and then you
yeah,
you grow up and you like I'm a man now, so you start doing extra wild shit to prove that you a man. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Just-
But I think it really just has to do with like a sense of nostalgia. like certain artists take people to a certain time period within their own life that some people just can't let go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, this might this might come off as a little bit harsh, but I think fandoms are a fucking problem in society.
Damn, proceed to speak. Let me
Like
hear.
dead ass. I'm like, bro, because it just ends up like, if okay, random celebrity has hundreds of people that are diehard obsessed with him that would literally take a bullet for him or her,
Yeah,
right? And then that leads to a culture that we have now where these celebrities are treated like fucking gods, you
yeah.
know, and are worshipped and don't really deserve as much worship as they get. Like, they're talented, but like the way we prop them up as a society is just unhealthy, I think, bro.
I
And
mean,
I
bro, you
think
can say the same thing about like sports stars or teams, and you know what I mean.
it's the same shit. Yeah, exactly. There shouldn't be fandoms in anything. How about you just enjoy what somebody puts out there and then just go on about your fucking day?
You
Like,
know,
I mean, maybe it has to do with the way people were raised or something. Because I think the psychology of it goes like deeper than that. Than
yeah,
because like there's a lot of artists that I've been listening to, for example, since like third or fourth grade that I still listen to, and that bring a sense of nostalgia when I hear their songs and shit.
yeah.
But
But you're not about to take a bullet
that
for.
that's where it ends. Oh, nostalgia, and then that's it. I go to the next thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know where this unhealthy obsession kind of comes from, and I don't think any other country besides America really has that type of shit.
You don't think what do you call it? I mean, I would say a lot of the Asian countries got it too, like with all these these pop stars that come out of there. Was it like K-pop, J-pop,
Yeah,
like
that's a good point. Like the K-pop culture, but I think a lot of that too is influenced by American culture.
yeah,
Like everything America does gets exported, right? So I think the celebrity propping is kind of happening abroad, but it started here in America.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
I can't even say that, bro, because it's like the same thing now that I think about it, bro. Like even with Bollywood back home in India, like motherfuckers be going crazy over Amitabh Bachchan and like that entire family line, like Shah Rukh Khan, like you know what I mean? Like these are like people from my parents' generation who were just fucking superstars, and even to this day, like you know what I mean. There'll be trash ass movies that people will sit through just because it's a it's a Shah Rukh Khan movie. Like I got to, and at the end of it, be like it was horrible. I knew it was gonna be bad, but I had to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And people will just go crazy. I think it's just human nature, bro. Like it's an obsessive personality that a majority of people I feel like have.
you think
It's
it's just kind of like the personality type that you were just kind of born with?
it might be.
It
It
might be. I
might
don't know.
be, and then maybe for some people too, it's like that. Them being like super fans or overly obsessed is just their way of being as close as they can to their quote unquote idol. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Hey, bro. I guess whatever brings anybody a level of fulfillment and happiness, you can't hate on it, right?
You feel me?
But I just think what like once it grows out
It's
of
for sure
control,
unhealthy at a certain point.
yeah, at a certain point, like where we are right now as a society, it's getting like out of control. That's all I'm gonna say.
I would definitely, bro. I definitely say that social media hasn't helped it because now
Yeah,
it's like you're even more tapped in with your whatever artist that you're. You know what I mean? Like put it like whatever artist you're going crazy for. Like a perfect example, right? Kendrick don't be on social media, but everyone's trying to watch his moves. So he posts one thing on social media, and this is now a talking point for the next 5 weeks for the world. Like,
facts. Yeah, bro. Like I was watching like this random YouTube video. I'm glad you mentioned that, where it's like they were breaking down Kendrick's last album. Obviously, like you and I both agree it wasn't like his best work, right?
yeah,
But they basically like the video breaks it down and it says essentially what Kendrick is trying to tell us on this album is he's begging the listeners to start treating him like a human being and not a god. You know what I mean? And I'm like, so if once I go back and I listen to that album, I'm like, huh, that might be true because a lot of the tracks are just like he's openly like expressing his like weaknesses or like his vulnerabilities, you know, and trying to make it seem like, hey, I'm one of you guys too. I'm not perfect. Please stop worshiping me. And that is kind of the message that I got from it after giving it a second and third spin. I
I'm gonna
still
for
don't think it
sure.
was his best quality of music, but that's the message he was definitely trying to send. And I think if he's thinking like that, there's a bunch of other celebrities that like agree with him. So even if me or you thinks it's bad as a society, if them as celebrities don't want that type of treatment, which I'm sure they don't,
Yeah.
where are we going with this? I don't know.
Bro, the crazy thing is though, is it's like the more like I need to go back to the album now that you said that and actually see if I can draw that too. But it's wild with him even giving that kind of message. People would be like, "Man, that's such a godly thing of you to say." Like, you know what I mean?
You're
Kendrick,
so
that's why
humble,
you
man.
a god, bro. You so humble. Like, I had one shrine of you. I'm gonna put a second one now.
You
Like,
changed my life, man. You're so humble. You're just like me. Oh, like, dude.
like. So I mean, bro, I just think the average person or most people. I mean, shit, who the fuck am I? But I just feel like a lot of people got that obsessive personality within themselves, and they need something to obsess over.
Yeah.
And if they don't
Yeah.
got, and some people have their outlets of obsession, maybe like artists, sports. Some people's obsession is their own fucking what do you call is themselves. Like some people just love themselves so much they're trying to better themselves every day. That's a form of obsession too, you know, where you don't give a fuck
That's
about
to me is, in my opinion, that's the best form of obsession.
one
But
hundred
not.
percent.
It's a privilege, and like it's a privilege to be able to get to that point, right? And yeah, everybody's different. So let me not shit on nobody. You know what I mean?
Nah, I feel you. I feel you.
But yeah, shifting gears here, bro. Since we're talking about psychology and breaking down people's brains and shit, because we're experts. What are your thoughts on the impact of dating apps on modern relationships? Let's go there.
Yo, you know what's wild? Like this shit, I want to say within this like last year or two, especially post pandemic, this shit became a norm. You know what I mean? Like I'll talk
Like
to
the
people,
use of dating apps.
the use of dating apps, but like the normalcy of it. Like how do you remember when like Tinder first came out? Like, bro, what you doing on that shit? Ah, nah, man, I'm just trying to get some hoes on here. Like, you feel me?
Yeah,
People hella try to just manly downplay that shit. Now people really just trying to set up dates and do this. And I don't, bro. Like, I feel like there's you gotta have the human element. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna know how to fuck you thinking, feeling, or moving, looking through a screen. Now, what I'm
yeah,
about to do is take your fucking responses and mold it in my head of who I think the fuck you are. And then when you don't end up being that person, it fucks with your head. You know what I mean? Like you
it
can't get
does.
to know somebody behind the text.
Yeah, and
In
I
my
feel like
opinion.
I think you're right, and I agree with you. But it also takes like a certain level of experience in using those apps to come to that conclusion, right? Like you got to find out for yourself. So I don't really blame people, especially in this day and age, for kind of putting their hopes and dreams on the apps, because like if you kind of look at it like as a species, as a society now, we're mostly just on our phones, right? Everything is digital and social.
Yeah,
So if that is the case, it makes it a lot harder for people to like meet new people in real life and establish any type of romantic connection. Like we've
yeah,
seen evidence of that. So it's only right that people would want to get on the apps if we're getting on the apps for everything else that's social. Um, Especially people that are new to certain cities or are moving around, or like for that type of situation, it makes sense. But I think the best way to go about it is to just kind of use the apps as maybe a plan B if you still have interest in using them, and
yeah.
really emphasize the FaceTime, like you're saying, like face to face interactions with people, and putting yourself out there. I think that's the best
Hey,
way to
let me
go.
throw
Kind of
this
like the
out there
old
because
school mentality.
somebody had brought this up too. So it's like when you say dating apps, right? Like the first thing that pops up in people's head is Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. You know what I mean? All the little apps, right?
Yep,
But I could honestly say, bro, Instagram's a dating app too.
it is.
You know what I mean?
It's 100%.
And it's crazy how quickly it became to that. Like I didn't realize that until probably like maybe a couple years ago. And I was
Hmm.
like, damn, bro, like you sliding in DMs, you showing off pictures, like it's just it's like a glorified dating app.
Yeah, you accepting follow requests from people you don't know. It's like, oh, she bad. You can follow me.
You
You know what I mean?
know what
Like
I mean?
it's a dating. Oh, she liked my story. I wonder what that means. Like high school lunch table shit, bro.
But nah, dead ass though. So I mean, I feel like it has more of an impact on this next generation because like we always talk about how like everybody born in '94 to like '96, maybe '97, we kind of got like we're like the bridge generation between still going outside and knocking on your friend's door to hang out versus everybody on like we got the early days of Twitter, you know what I mean, like when Twitter first popped out, and that's how people used to talk. And then MySpace, I mean, and then MySpace first, and Facebook, but we were too young for MySpace, even though some of us still had it type shit, but we were still going outside playing, scraping our knees and shit. And
Yep.
then we just missed the whole, because like I want to say social media really took over when we were probably sophomore, juniors in high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
like
really took over.
the MySpace days. I definitely had a MySpace account in middle school, but that was nothing. Like it wasn't enough of use to interfere with my life. Type
You know what I
shit.
mean? Because we
It was
never
like a
had
sampler.
exactly, bro. Because you had to still go to a computer to go do it.
Yeah, you have to
Like
still be outside for sure.
you know what I mean? Like you can't just send a message, put the phone in your pocket, check it 30 seconds later. Like, nah, bro. Once you send this
But
message, you're gonna come find out later.
I'm gonna say this though, like I didn't make a Facebook account until I was a junior in high school, and I didn't make a Twitter and Instagram account. I was like a senior right before I graduated. You
That's
know,
crazy. Yeah.
so I kind of like lived. Well, basically, my whole childhood was social media free. Thank God,
Yeah.
right? And it
I ain't
got
gonna lie to you,
into
bro. I had a MySpace in fourth grade. For what? I don't know. I had like maybe 6 friends. My entire page was just 50 Cent, Get Rich and Die Trying.
Oh, Dave, you were on it early because I remember it blew up in like '07. That's when I made it.
Yeah, that's probably when it hit its peak. Because I
Yeah.
remember, like 07, 08 was when Facebook really started cracking. Because Facebook came out in 04.
Ah, okay.
But then, so when we were in middle school, Facebook really popped off. I mean, regardless, bro, it was like, yeah, we had it, but the fuck we ain't had no phones to really check it all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
fact.
I would log in on my PSP to check that shit like once an hour, like once 1 hour a day, but that shit was always like at 11 at night. You know what I mean? Like my folks wasn't fucking with me having none of that shit. Like, you know what I mean? My dad whooped my ass when he found out I had a MySpace in fourth grade. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Meanwhile,
Bro,
you got just a little bit as my intro video coming up.
the PSP mention is hilarious. Nigga, the PSP was my iPhone.
Bro, you feel me? That PSP was epic, bro. I remember I ended up pulling because I still got mine over at my folks' house. I remember playing that shit. I'm like, yo, these graphics are straight jack shit. Like,
But they were the best shit ever when you were a kid, bro.
oh, 100%.
You remember Midnight Dub Edition 3? That
Bro,
was the
Midnight
golden
Club
game, bro.
was the shit.
It just felt different playing that shit on the PSP versus the actual PlayStation.
Nah, true that. Hey, you want some?
But no, like going back to the original point though. So like, what do you think the impact is on dating as far as?
Bro, I think it's making people way less social, bro. Because like
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
it too, like, and I can say that, bro, because because I'm an expert now, bro. I like the reason why I say that too is just because I see this, like, even me working at a bar, right?
Yeah.
Being like the art of being able to go and just talk to somebody completely sober is damn near impossible for a lot of people, bro.
Bro,
You know
people
what I
can't
mean?
even like fathom it.
You know what I mean? So it's like that translates straight to fucking like conversing with somebody, trying to get to know somebody on a fucking screen, bro. Like, then again, here's the other side of it too that I will say. We're also in a generation where it's a lot harder for most guys to just walk up to a female and just strike up a conversation without getting called a creep or like, bro, what the fuck? Like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel
Like,
like
you gotta come out with so much riz, bro.
that's true to a certain extent, but I feel like a lot of niggas use that as a cop out for just being too.
100%. It's the weird. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
It's true, like it is
speaks
like
volumes to who you are, though, if you use it as a cop out. Like,
yeah, like the risk is there, but I think people blow it out of proportion. Like I feel like most women, and I could be wrong because I'm not a woman, so I don't want to speak for women. Like I feel like a lot of women who are single and out and about, right? Like they're open to being approached by certain men.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I feel like the creep label just depends on, like you said, your individual level of being able to talk to people and like charisma and things like that. He's like, you got to work on that before you kind of talk to people as well. Like people try to go into social situations cold feet. You know what I mean? Without having any idea of what to do, and then they just end up coming off as like weird to the other person. You know what I mean? And I think you gotta when it comes to like interacting with people socially and striking up conversations with people you never met before, you got to take yourself out of I need to have a game plan into like I'm here and now. But you also need to go in with a little bit of a game plan.
yeah, like a
You know what
loose
I'm
game
saying?
plan.
Yeah, so you just don't go in there blind. Like I don't know. I feel like the reason why we think modern dating is struggling is because a lot of people's social skills have dwindled, like you said.
That might be nah. I think
I think it probably has more so to do with that than the actual apps.
yeah. I guess if you do have actual social skills, you can use the apps in the right way they was intended. But if you have no social skills, you're using the apps as a cop out then.
Exactly.
But then it
Because
gets like, oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going, bro.
No, I was just saying like, because then it gets to the point like once you've developed that relationship with somebody over a fucking screen, right? Now you got to hang out with them, like.
Basically, I mean, like the apps. I think the intent of them is to just plant the seed, and then you take everything from there in person. But another point I want to make too is everything being digitized, and the apps gives people the illusion of having more options and makes them less likely to, kind of ride out the wave with just one person. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't speak for you, but me personally, like,
I got a lot of hoes.
no, I'm saying it's like a red flag for me if I'm like talking to a girl and I'm getting serious, but like she's out here playing the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, bro, playing the field, I feel like that's just
It's
you're
different.
100% right. I didn't even think about it like that. I feel like we're just so accustomed to playing the field
It
because
shouldn't be that normalized, bro.
it shouldn't. But you know what it is too? It's just like this whole city boys, city girls like movement and mindset that a lot of people have is what keeps everybody playing the field.
Yeah,
Because I'm not gonna lie, I'll be over here getting real with one person, but then in the back of my head it'd be like, you know how much of a dummy I'd look like if I'm over here, hey babe, and meanwhile it's like, oh my bad, I fell asleep at 7, I didn't text you back. Nah, bitch, you was getting piped down for fucking 6 hours. Like, you
yeah,
know what I mean? Little
yeah,
shit like that. Like, so you're 100% right. That the play in the field, the loss of like actual having social skills. But I mean, bro, I feel like that has to do with like humans just trusting humans.
exactly. And I feel like a lot of that has dwindled. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I feel like people are not as trusting of each other nowadays, especially in that space when you talk about like dating and like romantic interactions and stuff. Like people are always keeping, their
their options
themselves
open.
guarded. Yeah, and it's like if you're keeping your options open and I'm keeping my options open, we're just kind of like wasting our time here. You know what? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it comes to a point where it's like, all right, at some point we got to like be exclusive, right? And it's just like the lack of that's another thing. Like the apps make the communication so much harder. Like lack of communicate, you don't really know what the other person is doing, or they don't really know what you're doing behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Because the phone contains
Yeah.
all type of secrets that they just won't be privy to.
Let me ask you this, bro. Like, you think this is just a problem in America, but I mean more specifically in just Cali, of how California lifestyle is versus like the rest of the world, or do you think like we just don't know that the rest of the world is damn near catching up to the same thing that we on?
Probably started here, but I think now this is a worldwide problem.
It's a global thing.
It's a worldwide problem. I
Yeah,
wouldn't call it a problem, a challenge maybe. A challenge because there's still a lot of. I feel like there's more people that would sit here and agree with you and me than there are actually people playing games. You know what I mean? I feel like
yeah.
there's a lot more people that are out here with genuine intentions versus what we see on social media that's like magnified. Like I don't think that's the general consensus of everybody.
Hey, now here, let me give the other side of the shit though. Fuck the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
Um, People saying that an individual not having any social media presence as a red flag. You see that as a red flag? Because I know a lot of females will be like, "Damn, you not on social media, or you got an IG, but you ain't got no pictures up, or you ain't got," you know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
generation that we in right now, do you see that as a red flag? And two, should people even see that as a red flag?
No, I don't see it as a red flag. Like, like that's a green flag. That's the biggest green flag. You don't got social media. Like you're not being brainwashed. Fuck yeah. Like you can think for yourself. Like
You know?
even me. Like bruh. Like I struggle with social media use too, bro. Like and it like it's a hard thing to not be involved in. You know.
Yeah,
So if you're anybody who doesn't have any type of social media presence or just doesn't follow it or fuck with it at all, like I respect you wholeheartedly because that takes a lot of effort and a lot of like sticking to your guns and being true to yourself to be able to just stay away from all that shit, even though all of society is telling you to be a
just
part of it. So for me, that would be the biggest green flag ever. But I think that's so rare nowadays that it's just not going to be tangible.
but you know what I mean. I feel like it's so rare to the point like you at least for me, like when I see a female without any social media or like barely on it type shit, I'm like, damn, you a unicorn. I fuck with it.
Mhm.
But on the flip side, I feel like females don't look at dudes that way
Why do you think that is?
because I think it's attention seeking, bro. I think people want to know that they're fucking with somebody who everyone fucks with.
I can't date nobody that don't post me.
Not
That's
even
the
that, bro, right? But not even that. It's just like I feel like people want to know that they're dealing with somebody important. Like Corrupt said, I'm important like the Pope. Like, you know what I
I'm
mean?
poking like the Pope. I'm a Muslim. I'm poke.
But nah, dead ass though. Like I feel like people feel. I mean, bro, and it goes back to what we are talking about the fandom shit. Damn near, like people want to feel important through somebody else's success, and in social in a social success, I guess. Oh damn! Like everyone likes him on social media. He must be dope. Let me fuck with him. Like you know
I
what I
guess
mean?
yeah. You do have a point now that I think about it, bro. Like social media is we call it like flex, like a flex central, like flexing, you
Yeah.
know. But it really is just kind of like showing off your, I guess, your status.
But like, what the fuck is the status though?
I don't know. It's all fucking lame to me, but I don't. I mean,
Like,
I cannot get into the head of a woman. Like men and women think differently, but
but
like I,
here's the thing though. There's so many men that think the same way. Like, bro, that value social currency. But then again, too, I think it's like I don't even want to say it's people that didn't have it when they were younger because it's like I know people that, you know what I mean, got no attention when they were younger and are still the same and just let fucking, you know what I mean, life move along. And yeah, people fucking with them now. Naturally,
mm-hmm,
they're not attention seeking on social media or platforms. They're trying to like, you know what I mean, hype
mm-hmm.
themselves up into like, I don't know. I think it all just comes back to like being able to have just basic social human skills.
Yep. And dude, that's a good point that you made. That the fandom does tie back into all of this. Honestly, because people with Instagram and a lot of social media, a side effect of it is people thinking that they're more important than they actually are. Like a lot of niggas need to humble themselves.
Man, facts.
You know, it is like people have like this set of criteria that's just based on what they see on social media, and also
They
like
try
in
to shape
movies.
their life behind it, bro.
Also like in movies, like all the movies we've seen growing up and the celebrity culture that we're enmeshed in has like warped our expectation of what a relationship is supposed to look like.
Oh, it for sure has.
You know,
Yeah,
there's
media for sure has.
like,
Hey, I mean, damn, bro, look at it. Like going back to fucking fandom, bro. You follow your fucking favorite artists, favorite movie stars, favorite shows, whatever the case may be, and you see how they end up living their life and think that's tangible or that's a normal thing. Like
yeah,
people don't realize, like a man that's a multimillionaire, yes, bro, he's not having one female. You feel me? Because he's in the upper echelon of like just men, as most sought after men. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
average Joe working at fucking Home Depot, unless you got fucking game out the roof, like you know what I mean? Go ahead, settle down, get a family, bro. Like you feel me? Stop trying to save up to fly a hoe from Miami all the way the fuck out here. Like
yeah, and a lot of it too. You said you mentioned human nature earlier. A lot of it too is yeah, it's just human nature, bro. It's the impact of dating apps. If you want to like, it's fucked with our ability to meet and interact with the new people because it's interfering with our natural human nature.
yeah,
Like I think it like there's like a biological impact that it's like rewiring. You know how species like evolve?
damn, yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of what it's doing to us in real time.
Bro, it'll be interesting to see 3 generations from now how humans actually think socially.
Yeah, bro. Like, cause this shit is literally like every aspect of the digitized world that we're kind of going through right now is like we're not gonna see the effects of it maybe in our lifetime, but
Yeah,
bro, like our grandkids, like once we're old enough to see our grandkids, we're gonna be like, damn, the world has fucking changed.
bro. Here's a crazy thought. Like you've seen like the video for Apple Vision Pro, right?
Yeah,
Now imagine a new dating app based on Apple Vision Pro, where you could be in your room sitting on your couch, right? And then you end up meeting somebody on this app, and then you guys can go to Belize, quote unquote, on your first date. You could really just go on 3 dates with somebody, sit down, interact, go see things, and never be in the same room with that person and be like, yo, I think I found my true love.
just get some virtual pussy. Like that's what we're doing
But
now.
hey, but dead ass though, bro. Like now think about that concept developed like 3 generations down. Like that could be a real normal thing. Kind of like how we were talking about with the Apple Vision Pro. Right now, people have them with just the goggles, right? Eventually, it's just like, damn, bro, you ain't got a chip. Hey, bro, this guy's chipless. Like, you gonna get laughed at for not putting a chip in your head. Like,
bro. Yeah, that scares the shit out of me because it does seem like a realistic
it's a huge possibility,
place
bro.
that we're gonna end up. Yeah,
And you know what the wild thing is? This is how they get you, bro. Because everybody I've talked to about this, I tell them the same thing. Like, I'm super wary about the direction Apple Vision Pro is going, but I'm for sure copping it when it comes out. Because as far as my day to day and like what I can use it for, like 100% is amazing. But it's also like it comes to the fact that like we've had exposure to real life day to day where, oh damn, I could see how this headset would help improve my day to day versus this headset in this virtual world is what you were born into. You don't know nothing else. Why the fuck would you live real life if real life is ass compared to what this goggle got you?
yeah, man. And if we're already having that problem with the phones, with the headset, is going to be even worse.
Oh,
So
it's gonna be horrible. Like think about homeschooling, bro.
even less social awareness for future generations. That's crazy.
You know, like if anything, bro. And it's like not even to jump topics, right? But it's
No, go ahead.
crazy how much COVID really like changed the lifestyle of humans in general. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
facts. Yeah.
it opened so much. It opened so many possibilities for us to just not have to do or not have to take ourselves out of our comfort zone and still succeed or get shit done.
Yep.
But on the flip side, right? I was watching this documentary about how COVID pretty much completed the entire isolation in North Korea. In 20, I want to say, what was it, 2007, right? Between the period of 06 to 09, or 010, North Korea was averaging about 2,700 to 2,900 escapes per year. Per year.
Damn, bro.
Since COVID, they've averaged about 50 escapes a year. And this year alone, there's only been 34 successful people who have escaped from North Korea. I say that to say it's just like that's like a perfect fucking example of how one COVID, but also just technology and the way we headed allowed one fucking dictatorship, one country like that to completely isolate its people from the entire world, bro.
Made it easier for them, yeah, bro. And they were already doing it, and we're getting shunned for it by the rest of the world. But the whole COVID situation just made it easier for them to keep doubling
Bro,
down.
they literally locked their borders and they said, yeah, we don't want this virus coming in. The world's like, yeah, it makes sense. And here we are 3 years later, bro. Their border policy is still the fucking same.
Yeah, that wasn't the real reason why they locked the border.
100%, 100%, bro. They have a shoot to kill order in place right now on its northern border with China and Russia, and its the southern border with South Korea. For anybody that's in that vicinity, whether it's military personnel from the other side, whether it's military personnel from this side, or whether it's, you know what I mean, whether it's residents trying to like go. The minute any of North Korean military sees somebody in the like in those borderlines, shoot to kill, and it's cool.
That's fucking crazy. I didn't know about that. They've probably been waiting for so long to implement that shit, and as soon as COVID came around, they're like, all right, coast is clear. Let's do it.
You know what I mean?
It's fuck, bro. Somebody, we need to nuke that motherfucker, bro. Like, no, like we need to just fuck. You know how like the U.S. went in like with their freedom flags in Iraq?
Yeah.
If ever there was somewhere we needed to do that.
I mean, I feel that, but you know what the crazy thing is though is like North Korea got the backing of China.
Maybe and they got nuclear power, so we're too pussy to go in there.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
and Iraq didn't have nuclear power.
And you said Iran or Iraq?
I know, Iraq, yeah, they didn't have no nuclear power, so it was just easy for us to just bum rush them.
But also, bro, they didn't have like. I mean, shit. I'm not even gonna sit here and tell you what I thought that they had. All I know is like based on
weapons of mass destruction.
Based on my what do you call my internet knowledge of North Korea, it's just like the way that they go about isolating their people, it makes it easy for the rest, like the other world governments, to be like, just leave them alone. Because all North Korea is saying is like, just let us do us, don't worry about us. And the rest of the world is like, nah,
bro, y'all wild, bro, y'all wilding out.
y'all wilding out, but it's like you're not fucking with the rest of the world, but you're
Yeah.
just fucking with your own people.
Yeah, but it's just morally like wrong to just stand by and watch that happen.
100%. But when
That's
you
our
got
only choice, you know.
like, do you want to go to war with China?
Low key, I feel like we'd fuck China up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think China don't want to go to war with us. That's why they're starting a fucking data breaching war, an economic war, trade war. They ain't trying to get them gats out and come outside though.
Nah, that shit crazy, bro. Fucking world politics.
Bro, do you know the budget of the American military complex?
Nah,
It's
I mean,
probably bigger than the budget of all the rest of the countries in the world combined. Like, no
ours?
funny shit. Yeah.
Damn.
We have the largest military spending in the history of humankind. This goes back to like Alexander the Great and shit. Like, dog, nobody has as good of an infrastructure and spends as much money and has as much weapons and people running their military as America in all of fucking mankind. So I don't think nobody's fucking with us, bro. USA. No, I'm just
You was.
kidding. Just kidding, though.
I mean, shit, bro. Little complete little pivot.
Yeah.
You ever think that all it takes is one asteroid to just come and just smack the fuck out of it? So I've been on my little space binge recently. So I've been like feeling real small in comparison to the world and my problems. Just I'm like, you know what, bro? What the fuck am I tripping on? You know what I mean?
Perspective.
But 100%, like, I just sometimes think about that, bro, and it's wild how the rest of like the whole world, we're really not gonna come together ever as one species until we have an extraterrestrial threat coming at our planet. You ever think about that?
It's coming too. Like, you got it fucked up if you think there's no other life out there. Like, are you joking? They say like, all right, Earth
You know
relative.
how conceited you gotta be to be like, it's just me.
It's me. I'm the center of the world. It's all about me. Like, there's
The only
stars
life
and
on the
asteroids.
space.
Like you said, an asteroid could hit tomorrow, and we could just all be just fucking dead, planet gone. Like that presentation you're worried about, no longer a concern. You know what I mean? But, bro, Earth relative to the rest of like the galaxy. This is me, doing my best Neil deGrasse Tyson impression. Is basically think about like one grain of sand in like a whole beach of sand. That's what we are compared to everything else. So you think amongst the rest of that beach, there's no other pebble or sand that has mad life on it? It's just us, really?
Bro, hey, I'll give you one even better, right? This other, I forgot her name. This other neuroscience, this what do you call astrophysicist? She was talking about, you know what I mean? How much of space we've actually explored.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the ocean, right, and take a glass, and scoop up some water, and then look in that glass and be like, "There's no fish in here," and then walk away and be like, "There's no fish in this ocean."
Yeah, that's accurate. Like, that sounds right. Like,
You know what I mean? Like,
figured it out. There's no life. It's just us guys. I'm sure of it.
like we've only explored a glass of water in comparison to all our oceans combined, and we want to say that there ain't no life out here.
Bro, since the 1960s, that's all we've explored. Like, bro, who knows, man? There might be life on Earth. I mean, on Earth.
There might be, man. I think I got like 2 life forms kicking it with me right now.
Life in any other planet out there. But because it's like so big and so vast, there might not be like a reasonable way for us and that other life to come in contact with each other.
Yeah, I mean, bro, the concept of fucking like just light speed in general, bro. Like when people say what 9.3 billion light years away, like it takes light. One light year is I think what 4 years. Let me double check this. Hold up.
All my physics shit right there.
Yeah, so light in 1 year travels about 186,000 miles. So when people be like 96 trillion light years away, like, you know how far that shit is, bro?
Like, there's nothing that we can build that'll get there.
I mean, bro, it also goes back to like, what do you call, like the types of civilizations and the fact that we are still stuck in a type 0 civilization. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Type 1 is being able to like, I think it's harvest harvest materials and energies within our own solar system. Like, you know what I mean? And I think type 2 is harvesting within our universe. Type 3, I need to go back. I'm not even going to bullshit and explain the type 3 and 4. I know type 4, it has to do with dimensions at that point. You know what I mean? So to think that we're only 75% of the way into a type 0 civilization, like, bro, we haven't even conquered space yet.
Yeah.
You know what I
We
mean?
got too much chip on our chip. We get fucked up by them other life forces.
Bruh. Like, even think about that, bro. Like, imagine like a fucking tomorrow we see this giant ass UFO just land in Times Square.
But bro, honestly, too, like thinking about your life and the world that way, I think is a good thing because, bro, Mother Nature don't give a fuck about you, bro. Like, you can wait. Like people forget all the time, and this is something that I've been big on lately. Honestly, like people forget how like fickle life is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could literally like I could be done with this podcast in 25 minutes. I can go and like die. You know what I mean? And then it'd be like tributes and like, oh man, we were just talking. But like, you don't realize how quickly that shit could be taken from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like life and death, like the line between it is so like thin. And when I think about, you know, species and the ocean and life on Earth and life in the universe, it just leads me to that point. It's like all this has been going on for hundreds of thousands of millions of gazillions of years. My lifespan is roughly 80 years old, right? That's like,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know. It just leads you to kind of give yourself some perspective and humble yourself. Like you're not the center of the universe. You know what I mean?
Bro,
And
you know what's
you got
crazy?
to live your life with a purpose, bro, because it could all be taken from you.
Like that, bro. No, like you know what's crazy? Like, think about going back to, because you had mentioned Neil deGrasse Tyson, got me thinking about this. He had described like the entire timeline of the Earth, right? Is, think of a football field, not just the Earth, the timeline of the universe. Now think of a football field. Now you're at this end zone, right? Go all the way to the other end zone, but right at the 1 yard line. Now, right at that 1 yard line, you know that single blade of grass that's right there?
Yep.
That single blade of grass is where we are right now.
That's insane to think about, bro. Like we're just a speck in the midst of a bunch of shit that we don't even know is out there yet. That's wild. And then, I mean, if we want to go even deeper, we don't have to. But like, to me, it's like when I go down that rabbit hole, pause. I'm just like, yeah, man. Like, I could see why like religion became a thing and why people are religious. And like, I don't want to get into my personal religious beliefs or your personal religious. I'm sure people know by now. Like, you grew up Catholic, I grew up Muslim.
Yeah.
But and also, I believe everybody's relationship with God is their own personal business, right? I'm not one to question it, but
yeah,
I think as humans, it's arrogant for us to easily dismiss it like that, the possibility of there being a higher power. If you're unsure, that's fine. I get why anybody would be unsure. You know what I mean? That's normally, but to just be like, no, there's no God. Like, it's just like, bro, like, how can you say that?
Yeah.
Just like, how can I say that there for sure is? You know, I don't know.
I mean, bro, like, shit, we're going down this rabbit hole. Something that I've been thinking about for a while, man, is you combine that like the whole what we were talking about with an asteroid just hitting the Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the next religion going to be?
It's nothing. It's nothing there.
You know what I mean? And then you even go back before, like, I know we had kind of talked about it. I'm gonna drop a picture right now so y'all can see. But the Richat structure, it's like this. It's a structure in northern Africa in the Sahara Desert, where pretty much we only found out about this structure when we end up sending out a couple satellites out. I want to say 2016, and it came back and looked at the Earth, and it was just we saw this spot. It was kind of like what, you know, with Jupiter, the red dot, or like the little, and then we found out it was just it's a giant storm going on over there.
Yep.
Again, it's not a storm going on Earth, but the same way just stood out on what do you call them, through these satellite images that we ended up taking in 2016, 2017, and that was the first time people started seeing like, yo, what the fuck is that? And then you go back to like the old tales of you know what I mean, the city of Atlantis, the capital city, being a city with circular landmarks with water structures in between. And then you look at something like the Rishad structure, bro. It literally describes Plato's entire description of it. Like if I was you, if I was you, go look up Rishad structure in North Africa right now,
How do you
and
spell
it's
that?
Richat.
Oh, Rashad. Oh, it's in Mauritania.
But like, look at that, bro, and then type in like Lost City of Atlantis after that, and just peep the city of or the Lost City of Atlantis, how it was supposed to, like capital city, how it was described as, and then look at the Rishad structure modern day.
Like similarities.
You know what I mean? I mean, think about the Saharas, bro. Like when we talk about like Africa being like a once populated place and like once like that entire bro, the entire Sahara Desert used to be thriving with fucking vegetation and life.
You know how big the Sahara Desert is, bro? It's like the size of 10 mainland United States laid alongside each other.
That's crazy, bro.
Of just desert and sand and heat and unbearable, unlivable land.
But then bro. Then now think about like back in. I mean, I can specifically speak for Christianity, right? Like we had the Great Flood. Like
Mm-hmm.
the Quran, does it talk about a Great Flood back in the day?
I don't want to say yes. I don't want to say no. I just want
Because
to.
I'm not.
I'm not sure. I'll
I'm
do
pretty
my
sure the
research.
Torah talks about it too. I remember in like ancient Greek philosophy, Greek stories and whatnot, they used to talk about it, but pretty much about how like the world got, you know what I mean, just wiped with a great flood, and ancient civilization ended up just getting reset.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck is to say that 14, 15,000 years ago we hadn't reached the technological states that we reach right now? But
Yeah,
even
because
worse,
everything was wiped out. We
you know what
never
I
really
mean?
know.
Tens of fucking thousands of years of fucking erosion will fucking change up any, like, bro, like if I had this phone, right? Say
Mm-hmm.
the spot I'm living at right now, shit, I got this laptop, I got these speakers, this mic. This is some pretty sophisticated shit to a caveman. But now
Yeah.
10,000 years later, bro, the only thing that's going to be left is fucking minerals from this phone. If it's still in there, it's going to be embedded into a fucking rock bed that's been hit by water for thousands and thousands of years. You know what I mean? Until it
Yeah.
dries out. So you can be like, okay, yeah, there's some sulfur here, there's some potassium here, there's a couple metals here, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I know for a fact the Quran talks about the day of judgment, which is like the day where everybody will be judged in front of God, right? And
Yeah,
there
I
it
mean,
talks about
same exact shit.
signs, yeah, signs that predict the day of judgment and what will happen on the day of judgment, and basically just all of civilization is wiped out, right? And if that has happened before, theoretically, we as a human species now wouldn't really know about it, right? If everything is
Sure.
all wiped out and all evidence is gone, so that's interesting, bro. Like,
And then
yeah,
even
we're
think about
definitely
it
going
this
down
way.
a rabbit hole. Pause.
Nah, but to think about it this way too, bro. Think about language itself, right? 1,000 years from now, a lot of modern language isn't going to be recognizable. 10,000 years from now, it's going to be completely different.
Yeah, I mean, there's languages that we've already seen certain languages wiped out, like within this lifetime, you know. So
So it's a crazy thought, man. It's a crazy thought. Like,
yeah, man,
but hey, you know
you
what the
got
wild
mad
thing?
philosophical.
You know what the wild thing about all this though, bro? Like I could see the next judgment coming, and it being what do you call it being because of AI.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors that make you think, damn, you as a society are kind of doomed. Like, are these signs? I don't know. These are ideas that people who follow any type of religion kind of flirt with. I think all the time.
Yeah,
Like, I don't want to get all like catastrophic, but you know, I like to keep it positive. But at the same time, it's like the message that I guess I'm trying to send with this whole spiel is people need to look beyond just themselves and their inner world and take stock in the fact that there's so much more happening outside of you and just have a wider perspective. Like it'll make your problems a lot more manageable, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Damn.
But yeah, since we got all philosophical, I feel like this is a good point to wrap up the pod.
Nah, it's good, bro. Shit, it was a good episode, my boy.
Yeah, and we had a 55-minute pod without even getting into basketball. Good shit, bro.
Dang, man. I feel like we
Yeah,
deserve an award for that, bro. We
for
ain't
real.
saying goddamn thing.
This might be a first timer, so
I think it definitely is, bro. This might be the longest time we talk without talking about basketball. But here we are talking about basketball.
Yeah, you have other interests.
But shit, man. Good shit.
Yes, sir.
We gonna see y'all next week. You know what I mean? It's the
Virtual
third
Dap,
week
my
in a
boy.
row. Virtual Dap, you already know it is.
Yes,
But
sir.
shit, man, it's your boy Ronnie.
And I'm your brother Waleed. And on behalf of the 2 Coin Podcast, we are signing out this motherfucker. Yeah.